YouTube, what's good? Is Zuuted back with another video. And since we finished Jedi Survivor recently, I wanted to make a Star Wars tier list of the movies and the TV shows, just to give you guys my personal opinion of what I think some of the best and some of the worst Star Wars films and TV shows are. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. As you know, well, you don't know, but I got into Star Wars late. I think I watched some of the prequels when I was younger, but they're really faint in my mind. So it wasn't until I turned around 1920 where I actually started getting deep into Star Wars. Because as a kid, you like the Star Wars you like the Star Wars movies rather for for the fight scenes and the cool little things and the lore around Star Wars. You don't really pay attention to the plot as much. So when I got older and I started deep diving into the Star Wars movies, I started to understand the plot more and the character arcs. So we're gonna go ahead and rate these, and let's start with A New Hope. I didn't watch that one until I was around 20 or so. I do understand that this is regarded as probably the best Star Wars movie to a lot of people. I'm going to put it in Grandmaster because I feel like obviously it set the stage for what we know today as the legendary Star Wars franchise. Um, it wasn't my favorite of the originals, but I understand that it is very crucial to the franchise. So we're gonna put it in Grandmaster. I don't think anybody would argue with that. It's a great film, cutting edge, you know, before its time with all the effects and everything they did during that time, which was, I think, 1977. So it's pretty impressive what they were able to do. Um, so the second one we have, I think, Clone Attack of the Clones, I believe. Um, this one I would probably put in Padawan. I'm debating between Padawan and Knight. Actually, I'm gonna put it in Knight because I think this movie gets a lot of hate. I think this movie was really fun for its time. It definitely wasn't the best out of the trilogy of the prequels. I think it was probably the worst one, in my opinion. But it's a very fun movie. If you can just take away some of the stuff that most people say about it, um, and just take it for what it is. But it's a great little fun movie. I definitely wouldn't say it's anything close to like Master Council Member or Grandmaster, but it is a fun movie. So we'll leave it at night. Star Wars Rebels I have not seen, believe it or not. Um, I heard it. I heard it was pretty good. So I'm not really gonna rate it. So let me actually add a tier. Okay, so I have not seen that. So we're gonna put haven't seen. I heard it was great. I heard it's a kids show. I heard the arc between like Ahsoka and Darth Vader was a pretty good parts in there. This one, I'm not. I think it's what is it? Resistance. I don't think I've seen that. I don't know much about that at all. So we're gonna put that in haven't seen. Return of the Jedi. I think this movie's, I would say, the least in not in. This is so debatable because I don't know. I like certain aspects of Return of the Jedi. I think the best redeemable qualities of Return of the Jedi is the relationship between Luke and his father, which obviously is Darth Vader, and how Anakin fulfills the prophecy in the end. I think that's their most redeemable arc. The shot at the end between them is phenomenal. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in Council Member. I don't think it's better than A New Hope, but I do think it's better than a lot of the sequels. So we'll just leave it at that. And now we get to my favorite. Star Wars movie ever. If there was a tier above Grandmaster, I would put it there. Uh, this is going the Grandmaster personally for me. A lot of people, I might get a lot of hate for that, but personally, this is my favorite movie ever in the Star Wars franchise. Fight scenes phenomenal. I feel like the story phenomenal. Anakin Anakin's story just, it just sets the stage for A New Hope. And I think Hayden Christensen and Obi-Wan's, you know, their acting skills just go so above and beyond in this one. Just the correlation with them, the scenes with them acting together is just that fight scene on Mustafar. It's just classic. You know what I mean? I also loved the Yoda and the Palpatine fight, how they're going back and forth between the two. It's just a phenomenal film, in my opinion. I would keep it at Grandmaster. I know a lot of people don't like that movie. I love it. Next, we go on to Rogue One. I'm going to go ahead and put this in night. I think Rogue One is a decent movie. I feel like I have a lot of the same gripes with, this movie as other people do, as, a lot of people didn't care for how they got the plans to Leia or whatever the fact, which is kind of, I agree with them somewhat. It's kind of a pointless movie, but if you take that from it, like if you take that away from it, the scenes with Darth Vader, I forgot the Asian guy's name, the Asian Jedi guy, phenomenal character, love that character. The ending, beautiful. I will tell you, the ending almost got me teary eyed. It was a great ending, but like I said, really not that important of a movie. I would say Night is good. I wouldn't mind if you guys would argue Padawan, but we're gonna leave it at Night. Solo, same kind of thing. It felt like a side quest type movie. Believe it or not, I do like Childish Gambino as Lando, but I'm gonna put it in Padawan because I don't think it's better than these two. In my opinion, it wasn't that good. Next we have, I think, the Clone Wars movie. I have not seen the Clone Wars movie. A lot of people do not like the movie, so we're gonna leave it in haven't seen. I'd really have to talk to my boy Ty about this because I've never seen the movie, so I don't know. Next would be the Clone Wars TV show. I have seen a couple episodes of, and I did love it a lot. Um, I might either put it in council member or master. I personally don't know if it's better than Return of the Jedi as a whole, because it's kind of hard to gauge a movie versus TV show, because I think the Clone Wars ran for a long time, so um, it's so legendary and people in my generation love it, so I'm just gonna keep it in master. Maybe later on when we finish the rest of these, we can change some stuff around, but yeah, we'll just keep it in master. The next one will be Empire Strikes Back. Now, this movie is regarded as the best Star Wars film in the franchise, either this one or A New Hope. And I did enjoy it very much. I thought the snow scenes, I thought everything about this movie really embodied Star Wars as a franchise. Um, so obviously, I'm gonna put it in Grandmaster because I feel like that movie is regarded as like most people's favorite Star Wars films. I don't really have much to say because like most people have already seen it, and it's a classic. You know what I'm saying? Um, Next one, I think if I get these wrong, my bad. But I think I believe this is Force Awakens. So with Force Awakens, honestly, I think this is probably the best movie out of the sequels. I thought Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi were abysmal. I we can talk about the other two movies later, but this movie had the most redeemable qualities. Um, a lot of callbacks to the first movies, it kind of did the same thing for me. I thought Finn was a really great character that they introduced, but they, I think they kind of handled him not the way I would have handled him. I think this one either goes Master or Council Member. Is it as good as Return of the Jedi? I don't think so. So we're gonna put that in Master with the Clone Wars. I don't know if the Clone Wars in the first. I might have to move Clone Wars up here, because I don't think the Force Awakens is better than the Clone Wars. I think the Clone Wars very enjoyable watch. So we'll just put the Clone Wars up there. It's very debatable to me for these two. Next one is The Last Jedi. This movie, man. The way they did Luke, I don't care what nobody says. The way they did Luke in this movie, I just don't agree with. So I'm leaning towards Padawan. Like I said, there was a tier in between. We'll put it in night though. We'll put it in night because a lot of, I think that with the sequels, another thing with that movie I did not like that much was the whole Ben Solo, Han Solo, him killing his own dad. I didn't agree with that either. Like I said, the Luke stuff. I thought some of the fights were pretty cool. I know a lot of people love this movie for some reason. I don't know why. I can't get with it. So the next one we have is Star Wars The Mandalorian. This one I'm probably going to put in Council Member. This series single-handedly showed that Star Wars can still, not necessarily still do it, but they at least put one project out that I'm like, okay, this actually feels like good Star Wars. At least the first and second seasons. The third season, I don't know, it was kind of weird. The first and second season, phenomenal. Phenomenal. I love Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin. Great 2 seasons. The lore, the environment, the way it was shot, great. And what's crazy is anything recent really hasn't been that high. That's really the only one I would say of the recent Star Wars stuff that I really, really enjoyed. The next one is going to be Phantom Menace. And I'm probably going to put this in Master. I think The Phantom Menace is not significantly better than Attack of the Clones, but I think it's better. It's not significantly better, but it's better. I think this has in the top 5 fight scenes with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. I think that is phenomenal. I even think the story is pretty nice. Now we're getting to the last movie, which is Rise of the Skywalker. This movie was bad. This movie was a horrible watch for me. Padawan, I do not agree with where they went with the fan service. Rey being Palpatine's daughter, now she's a Skywalker, and it's just all over the place for me. I don't like how they pump fake Chewbacca's death either. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. Don't just pump fake it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that movie is just not a good movie to be ending the trilogy on. So yeah, I mean, this is basically my tier list. I'm looking back at it. I'm trying to see like anything that I probably would change. I'm not seeing anything I would change. I definitely think this is a good tier list. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I mean, this is just my personal opinion, though. I know you could probably make an objective list of what's objectively better. Or this is just what I've enjoyed as I've dived deep into Star Wars and finishing Jedi Survivor. I was just inspired to, do a little tier list for you guys. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what any changes you would make. And yeah, this is basically my tier list. Love me, hate me, whatever you want to do. But yeah, this is Zuuted signing out.